Hey beauties, good morning to you. Beautiful people. I don't know if some of you have been following what is happening in the news, overseas news, in the United States regarding Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs, and the allegations against him from one of his former girlfriends, Cassie, and other people coming out. For years, I've often heard about his sexual indiscretions, be it with men or women, predominantly women, but and the secret parties that will take place that are ritualistic in a sort of sadistic, when they talk about sadomasochists and sort of a situation, or Sodom and Gomorrah sort of things. You would hear it, even if it is with women. It was awful. We hear about these horrific sexual indiscretions. I cannot deny if they're true. I can't state if they're true or they fall, or if they're false, to be honest. One of the things I know, just using the Bible, it talks about principalities and powers, rulers of darkness, and spiritual wickedness in high places, especially when it talks about spiritual wickedness in high places. Talks about like human beings who dabble in things that are devilish, and they will get certain types of powers for, to make their music careers, acting careers, whatever it is in their career path is, they actually delve into that. Remember that Satan was the chief musician in heaven, so he was cast out. He's going to go back to what he knows, how he was created. That is what he was created. One, to safeguard God's holiness from us fallen mankind. And when I say fallen, meaning we were born in sin and shaped in iniquity. And two, that is how he was created. So it's not like God where he's dynamic and vast. He's not omnipotent. He's not omnipresent. He's not almighty. He's not God. God is the only creator. The devil is a created being. But he was given certain powers, and he has used that wisdom that God gave him, for evil means and corruption in this day and age. So there are many, many people in the music industry, in the acting world, just in life, who, in order to get to where they are, they dabble in these things. Remember, the Bible says the love of money is a root, not the root, because there are other roots that is not, it may tie back to money, but it's really, not necessarily money related. There was this guy who killed two persons, and he went to go and kill a third person. It was in Bahamas some years ago. I think he said, maybe it's another country. But anyway, the lady said, take my money, take everything. And he said, I don't need your money. I don't want your money. I killed two people and it's fun. I want to get rid of another. So that is why I said it's not the root. You can't say it's money only, predominantly perhaps, because the Bible says money answers all things. I can accept that, but it is not the root. It's a root of all types, all kinds, manner of evil and wickedness. Although I cannot, say if all these allegations are true or false, and I don't run with this hypothesis, I do not run with this theorem that because majority says it, it is true. Let me give you a reason behind that. If I get up and I'm talking to 10 people, for example, and I said, Jane Doe is a thief, is a murderer, is a liar. 10 people I'm talking to. Those 10 people can go back to another 10 people, which maybe less 100. Each person can go back to another 10, 15 people in a crowd and say, say Jane Doe is a thief, a murderer, and add to it, subtract and twist it, and it keeps going like that, because people like bad news, so it's going to spread. Guess what I heard? And it continues and it continues. What going to happen? More people will know. So it will now amount to the majority sort of a thing. And I use the word majority to describe like masses and scores of people, plethora of people, and with that, they ran with that lie. It may not be true. So we can't run with the whole, as I said, theorem that, because a lot of people are saying it is true. One of the things, though, I know in life, my beautiful people, one thing that I know is that whatever seed we sow, we certainly will reap. The reality is that many people assume that if they do bad, for example, and for years are passing, and nothing bad is happening to them. In fact, they're actually looking as though they're blossoming. They're doing well. And they go on until one fine day. One day named day. as what the book of I keep mixing them up, Proverbs chapter 6, verses about 11 going down to, you just read that chapter, but about verses 11, but read Proverbs 6, where it says, and people who rush to do evil, sudden destruction or sudden calamity will take them over to the point of no return, no healing, some versions will say. They will be basically destroyed and annihilated and no remedy. So, for example, they may get sick and the sickness just gets progressively worse, but it destroys them for a while, for a long while. They just get worse and then they just die in a terrible manner. And other things start to happen to them, like, that this is definitely punishment or consequences of what they did in their past. I've seen it happening to people who did wrong, and life was hunky-dory, life was sweet, life was nice for a long time, for a number of years. In fact, it was as though the bad that they were doing, they were repaid good. The Bible talks about they repaid me evil for good, but in their demonic sense. And the reason why I use the word demonic, they may not have literally worshipped the devil, but if it is not of God, it has to be of the devil. It's simple as that. So in their own demonic sense, it's like they're doing bad but rewarded evil. And we're not talking about when the Bible says, bless those who curse you, bless those who persecute you. I'm not talking in that fashion. Because I've heard people saying, boy, the more good I do, bad is happening to me. And that's why we still say, the Bible still says in Galatians 6:9, do not get weary in doing good. Do not give up in doing good, because in due season you're going to reap a reward while you're here on earth. The flip side is so, because it therefore is telling me that if I do the opposite of that, like you're doing bad, eventually you're going to get not the reward that you would want, a fine beating in life. Notwithstanding, I saw a little post on P. Diddy's page. I follow him, and he said, I don't know. Basically, he said that he's going to make sure this thing is resolved because people are telling lies, all these manner of lies against him, trying to destroy his life and his career and family and whatever it is. My heart goes out to his children, because that cannot be nice to be hearing all. They must be seeing all of this. They must be hearing all of this. His beautiful daughters, the twin, the other daughter there, and the boys there. That cannot be nice. It is now coming out even stronger. Before, maybe they heard it and they probably said, kids, these were always remote. When they're coming up and resurfacing, there is, as one of the commentators said in one of the posts, there can be that possibility, and they're right, where sorry, beautiful people, there can be that possibility where, sorry beauties, there can be that possibility where people are truly telling lies. There is that slim chance, to be honest with you, because if people want to break you down, if you're doing well in life and people want to break you down, they will break you down. They will break you down. I don't know anything about his life. I don't know how he has acquired his wealth, I guess, through business. He's a business mogul. I guess a musician knows how to spot other singers and so on. One of the two little songs in terms of his collaborations that he would have done with Biggie Smalls, Mace, and some of the others, 112, and some of the people, Mary J. Blige and others that he has worked with, and yet he and some of them have fallen out. I mean, it only tells a story, my beautiful people. It doesn't matter. And people are saying that he's protected. Only protection that you can truly get overall is from God. You only can be covered for a while when it is something that is not solid and with strong foundation. In other words, even if they are safeguarded by demonic powers, it's only for a time. It's going to come off. When God says time for you to pay the piper, when God says time for you to get beaten and punishment, it shall come. Or let us say consequences. Some people say, God, really? New Testament say the generational curses fall down to the third and fourth generation of those who are rebellious. Those who are rebellious. It's a sad state of affair. I don't know how to view it. It can be looked on as emasculating the black man. It can be looked at another hate crime, another hate, situation. Another thing to tear down the black man, especially. Can be looked at it that way, but at the same time, also the flip side is, and even if you're going to look at it from that way, we can take it that they use the black man to destroy him. Guys, be careful of what you do, because you will be repaid. Guys, follow me on TikTok, subscribe to my YouTube channel.